Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Our Small Footprint. My name is Nyssa, and if you're new here, we just walked into a spider web. We're a family of 8 who live off-grid in Australia. Now, I could redo that, but it's too funny too, so I'm not going to. So it is Sunday today, and if you have been around a while, you know that I do a bit of a chat video on a Sunday. Now, I wasn't going to, which is why it's really late in the afternoon, because I did a bit of an extra chat video during the week because we've had a whole lot of issues that I was sharing. We had the bushfires and there was issues with the car and stuff. But I thought I would because it's nice to have these to look back on. But also I wanted to give the weekly update on the watermelon. The only plant, which was a volunteer mystery plant in my garden that is doing well, is this watermelon. So we're all going to, focus on that as the pinnacle of my garden this year. Hopefully things will improve. But for the moment, this volunteer watermelon is the pinnacle of my garden, which is, a bit sad. So other than that, in regards to the car, thank you very much for all the comments and suggestions. Inta and Chris contacted me on Facebook. They had seen my video and they very, very kindly offered to have a look at the car for me, and had a look, and we've discovered that there is some issues with the transmission fluid and some pipes and stuff. So the next point of attack is that we replace the filters and the gaskets and the pipes, hoses, and then see if the transmission is okay. So we have to replace all that before we can see if the transmission is okay. And if the transmission is okay, then that is just absolutely wonderful. And I'll probably take it to Ford and get it looked at by Ford rather than a generic mechanic, get the transmission serviced and things like that. But if we can get it running, then that's just amazing and will be a huge burden taken off. We have the borrowed ute at the moment from some absolutely awesome friends that I have had for a long time and I thoroughly appreciate. So we have been able to fetch water, which was our main concern, was that if we didn't have any vehicle, we couldn't fetch water. And we actually ran out of water in the main tank today because we haven't had rain for a bit. So that was lucky we had a vehicle capable of collecting water. So we did 3 loads of water today to top up the tank there. So otherwise, what else has been going on? I ordered, so everyone who's been following along knows that I've had a lot of problems in the garden this year, and a lot of that has been getting my seedlings to be established enough to get out in the garden. So what I've done is I've ordered a galvanized frame, like a greenhouse frame, and some 50% shade cloth, and we're going to put a door on it and seal it up and use it as a seedling staging area. So the shade cloth has arrived, but the galvanized frame hasn't yet, so I will show you that when we get it set up. And then before we need to do the winter seedlings, we'll also get a hot house set up, and hopefully I'll have them side by side so that near each other enough that they're not going to shade each other, but close enough that I can try and start things in the hot house with the seedling heat mats and then move it to the staging area and then have more success next year. But also, we don't get our first frost until like May. It was mid-May last year. So if I can get some seedlings started now, I still have the opportunity to get some decent harvests of quite a few things. So we're going to get that seedling staging area set up, and hopefully by doing that, I can get that second flush. I can get some tomatoes, especially cherry tomatoes. Even large slicing tomatoes only really need 70, 90 days. I may not get a full flush of them, but I should get enough to make it worthwhile to plant some, and plenty of cherry tomatoes, zucchini, that sort of thing, and then start getting my winter stuff done as well, because I haven't wanted to start any more cold crops either, because I'm just wasting seed. Which reminds me too, some of the seeds that it was ages ago that I told everyone I was sending out seeds, and things just went downhill. I'm probably only halfway through, so anyone hasn't received them, they will get to you, I promise. Maybe for next year's planting rather than this year's though. Sorry. So I'm getting that. But yes, I have been hesitant to start any more seeds with all the issues that have been going on, because there's been just so much waste. We've lost a lot of plants that I bought as small plants that like tube stock plants and stuff, some natives and that, and my tea plants and all that, because we had issues with the pig pen that didn't get fixed, and then we've had issues with everything we planted in the garden gets eaten, and there has been a lot of loss in time, money and plant life this year. So hoping to turn that around a bit by getting this seedling staging sorted. It's very disappointing. Last year when I didn't have much of a following on YouTube or anything else, I had so much garden. It was divine. You'd come out here and it was lush and there was fresh vegetables every day. And then this year, when I start off all positive and was going to show you how I get it done because it did so well, and nothing worked. So hopefully next year I can prove that I can garden and that it does work. But for this year, oh my goodness, spiderwebs everywhere. For this year, things are not going fantastically. So watermelon, let me turn you around and show you the watermelon. So this is the watermelon here. I have no idea what sort of watermelon it is because it was a volunteer plant, but I did keep some seeds from our poo pit watermelons last year. We had some watermelons that grew out of the humanure pit, and I kept the seeds for them, and they were this shape, so it's possible it's that, because I don't actually normally buy the really large watermelon seeds because I prefer the smaller ones, and we get more of the smaller ones, and then the kids will just eat a whole small one as they go. But I don't think they're getting pollinated very well in here because I see quite a few fruits that, I don't know if I can get it to focus where I want it to focus, but there's a few, let me see if I can, there we go, a few fruits that aren't being pollinated. So I'll have to make sure to come out because that's the only one I can see on here. So excuse it's late afternoon, everything gets a bit droopy in the afternoon, but yeah, the plant is traveling everywhere, but I don't see any other fruit, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. And see, a couple of the tomato plants have not made it either, but we've got a couple that are going okay. They're still not going fantastically, but we will see. And I have been harvesting some ripple currant, yellow ripple currants. You can see through there, they're volunteer tomatoes that come up. I've been watering the volunteer tomatoes so that I could get some from there. I do have one vine here it's in the zucchini patch, but I'm not entirely sure what it is, but the one bit of fruit has been chomped on so far, and I thought this was supposed to be a zucchini, but it's got little, so don't know. I'll come out and try and catch those to pollinate them, but there isn't any male flowers at the moment, only the fruit. So I will try and come out and hopefully one of these male flowers will open up so that I can try and pollinate these fruits and see what comes of it, because there is a few fruits on there, but I'm not entirely sure what this plant is. Pumpkin maybe by the looks of it rather than zucchini, but whatever it is, that's all I've got, so that's what I'm doing. And one of the zucchinis did come back from, oh my goodness, more spiderwebs, did come back from the dead, so that's definitely a zucchini. We will try and coddle that one as well and see how it goes. I have been harvesting my onion seeds as well, so I let a whole bunch of onions go to flower, and I've been coming out and grabbing the heads as they dry out, and most of them have ended up with quite large bulbs on them too. So I've been using the bulbs as well because they're not squishy. The flowers have dried out, you can see the black seeds in them, so may as well use the bottoms of them as well. Let me show you. So like this one I would pull because it's all dried out, and you can see the little, not all of it was pollinated, but I'm still getting a fair few seeds out of them. And then if you look down the end of it, it's quite a large onion and it's firm. Same as like this one, where are we? This one's all dried out, so I should pull that one. And then this one has quite a nice bulb on it as well. So I've been using these. This one hasn't dried out completely yet, but the bulb's still nice and firm. So I've got quite a few in here that I let go to seed and the bulbs look pretty good on, so I will do that. But other than that, we've got weeds galore. We're still working on it. And unfortunately, this is parsley that I let go to seed. I assume that this is probably almost ready to harvest by the looks of the seed, but it's gonna self-seed everywhere because I'm not going to be able to control it all. It looks like there's some aphids on this as well, but I haven't looked up when the seeds are ready to harvest, but they have changed color into what looks more like seed. So I might do some YouTube checking like everyone else to double check when I take some seeds off this. But yeah, I can see that I'm going to have a bit of an issue with parsley self-seeding here, which isn't a bad thing because it's got some, I can't remember what it is, but there's something in it. It's got a vitamin or something in it that's really good for the chickens. So I was harvesting whole lots of it to give to the chickens because whatever it was that was in it, when I think I was looking at natural worming or something, and parsley had a specific vitamin or mineral or something that worked really well for that. So I feed all the excess to the chickens, so it doesn't matter if it comes back in abundance, and that's fine. My hollyhocks too, I've been slow on cutting them down, and I did notice that there's a few seed pods that have opened up on them as well, which means that I'm going to be overrun with hollyhocks too. I really need to come in here and pull all these dried heads off so that they don't drop the seeds. Oh, I'm dropping seeds as I'm trying to do it. So they don't drop all these seeds everywhere, because as much as I am happy to have some back, I don't think I want them right here, to be honest. Like, this was a bit of a bad spot for them to be in. I'd prefer to have them up against a wall somewhere out of the way. So I need to come in and cut all these seed pods off, and I can keep the seeds, but I don't want them self-seeding excessively here. I'm just going to have to pull them out. So, but yes, the evening primrose is still chugging along, but the aphid infestation is still there, but trying to breed those lady beetles on there, so hopefully they keep on breeding because there's plenty of food source and then spread around to other places. So I've just left it alone. It's not like the garden's doing much at the moment anyway. So other than that, not much going on. I'm trying to get the videos done that I've had ready to go. We've started some new routines with schoolwork, so that's been a bit time consuming, trying to get the kids used to the new routines with schoolwork. I've had a few questions about the curriculum and stuff I use, so I'll try and go over that sometime in the next couple of weeks as well, once we get it all sort of established. We got the new float for the grey water, should hit the post box on Monday, so I'm hoping to get that finished this week as well, because my fruit trees are really struggling in this heat and the hose doesn't reach to them. So badly need to get the grey water going there. Also my strawberries and raspberries, the grey water normally goes to them too, and they're struggling too. So there's a lot of things that we've had a run of like 39-degree days and no rain. So it's been a bit much for a lot of these plants, unfortunately. I also harvested a whole bunch of my rosemary, so I've got that for you, and I'm going to make rosemary salt. So I'm going to dry that and probably gift that to a few people because I'm going to have far more than I need, but that will be really nice. And then I might use the woody parts to skewer some chicken or something. So I've got that for you as well. A whole bunch of stuff. I just haven't had as much time, as I've said, to get stuff out, and it bugs me, but I'll get there for you anyway. So that's about it for today. I just really wanted to check in. I normally do a Sunday chat video. All my regulars will be expecting it, so I didn't want to not post because I know that people worry. So some good news on the car, hopefully. Plenty of videos coming up with all the food stuff that I've been doing, and hopefully some of the maintenance and garden stuff too that will hopefully get us a bit on the path of a bit more progress than we have been lately. That's the hope anyway. We will see how it pans out. And I wanted to share the watermelon. So thank you very much for joining me again today, guys, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.